What else? I
know, this is just such an easy target.
Yes,
we're on a roll here.
These guys, they hang out at Starbucks, and while they have their little logo pointing at the door, they spend 2 hours checking their email. That's an easy way to identify one of these people.
Sometimes because they're lonely and they think they're going to meet a girl at the Starbucks, but they don't. You can also tell if somebody's an Apple if they say, like, oh my god, yeah, and then, like, I almost tripped over my Mac. You know? It's like the same as, like, oh yeah, I left my golf clubs to my Beamer.
Yeah, right,
like, oh, my Benz is parked outside. Well, is it parked inside? Where the hell else would your Benz be parked? Or your car?
Why can't you say my car?
Yeah, right.
Why do you have to say my Benz?
Well, it's like when you buy a Mercedes at the dealership, the salesperson will even be like, this is a big deal. You know, this is a life-changing thing. I'm going to give you the keys. And when I give you the keys, you have to realize that I'm not giving you the keys to a car. I'm giving you the keys to a Benz.
Have you bought a Benz before? Okay. And this next, you're going to start this next one, but I have a funny story about this next one.
Oh, I found something interesting. Anyway, for some reason they are convinced that they don't need to, like, understand security. They don't need to consider security considerations in their usage or in their development because they, for some reason, believe that Apples are just, or OS X's, don't have viruses.
Yep.
They're just totally immune.
It can't happen.
No.
No way.
Actually, I saw a website that exploited Chrome and installed malware on a Mac the other week.
No.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That can't happen.
I know.
That can't happen. Well, I can recall that when my wife and I were at the Apple Store getting the first gen iPad, one of the sales pitches that they were trying to get me to oh, you should get a Mac too.
Right.
We're like, no, thanks. She's like, they can't get viruses. Well, you know me, Brian.
Yeah, I know. You're going to get, like, lividly pissed off at that prospect.
Brian and I, we graduated with computer science degrees, but also computer security. So that we were a part of the security track, which is like an NSA certified program that we went through. So of course, I have a lot of knowledge about that, and I let this girl have it. I gave her like a 15-minute thing about like what viruses are, how you can exploit Macs, and all that kind of stuff, and she didn't know how to respond.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
She just cried.
It was beautiful.
She's like, I just have the swipe thing on my thing. And without provocation, they consistently make snarky comments about, it's like a PC. Yeah, that's like, whatever. I don't even have like a button on my mouse pad.
And they'll also say stuff like, oh, you can have Skype on a PC? That's crazy. I don't know. It's like, what?
Oh, is that possible? Huh.
Why would that shock you?
Yeah, right. But that said, the Apple devices are great. Like, their user interfaces are like sexy as hell. They're very consistent. They're very well implemented.
Yep.
Like, Apple makes some really nice products. Like, their hardware is good. Their software is good. They just happen to accidentally produce a lot of I don't know. So we were kind of turned off by the Apple developer culture. Not the Apple company culture, but the Apple developer culture. And we kind of had to get over that by just kind of accepting the fact that, like, these people suck. Let's learn it and be like, here's why you suck, And now we know.
We had to learn in our own way because we couldn't really depend on the Apple community to help us.
And we would even try saying like, okay, well, that's, anyway.
And the Apple developer community, to its credit.
Yes.
Now we're backtracking a little bit. The community itself pretty much values seasoned developers, but they don't really value newbies. And you can kind of think of that in many ways. Like, one way you could think of it is they want things to be written only by smart and talented people.
So they don't want like a plug and play, off you go. So
Copy
you have
and
all
paste.
these, right.
Yep.
So you have all these like weird crap apps all over the place. That happened anyway. It's inevitable because people will build like programs that then pop them out, but they tried.
Yep. The language also kind of gears towards specific standards, naming conventions, method calling, and that is very, very different from the stuff that we've shown before.
And it's not, and you'll find using the framework and using the language, it's not necessarily intuitive of how it's laid out.
Yeah.
C++ in hindsight will look damn intuitive.
Yeah.
But they want all of their software to be written using that same standard and that kind of like Apple way of doing it. You know what I mean?
They even if there's another way to do it, you will be scoffed at. You will be told that
constantly
you suck because you didn't do it the way that you're supposed to do it.
And there's a reason that they do that because of other considerations that have been thought out in the design of the framework, but still, it's a weird way of trying to shepherd everybody into a certain way of writing the programs. We've also seen people asking questions about how to do certain things, and people will be like, well, just don't do that.
Yep.
There's a reason you should never have to do that. What the fuck, Like, it's crap. Like, if I want to do something, I want to make it like that's the device the the Apple devices can do more than the templated things that the framework sets up for your convenience. It
Right.
can do anything that you can possibly imagine.
Right. And it isn't software development supposed to be
Yeah,
expandable?
that's exactly what it's for.
You
and
shouldn't be
particularly this language.
Right.
Of all languages, the language
Right.
meant to be so extendable and so flexible.
Right.
You should really be like, oh, you want to do something that I've never thought of? That's awesome. Let's extend it out and build our own little sub bullshit thing, and go at it, So that's what we want you to do. That's what we want you to come away with out of this.